College Football Hall of Famer Tony Casillas was the number 2 pick overall in the 1986 draft. Went to Atlanta behind some guy named Bo Jackson, and the former Cowboy joins us tonight to talk about the draft, which starts tomorrow night. I've asked you this many times, but I'm always intrigued because most of us have never been where you were back on that draft day in '86. What do you remember from that big day in your life?
Well, I just remember a lot of anxiety. You weren't for sure. People would tell you, look, Tony, you're going to be the second player picked in the draft. But you didn't know. But I just remember it was a lot of anxiety. It was exciting. You had all your family around, but you did not know exactly where you were going to go. And then back then, there was no NFL network, Mike, where they had every player that's picked in the first round go to New York City. So they gave you a phone call. So that's the only indication you got. But, I mean, it was a great memory. But God, it's been a long time.
That's a call you'll never forget. You haven't changed a bit. Cowboys with the with the 4th pick. It seems to come down to three guys: Joey Bosa, the defensive end from Ohio State; Ezekiel Elliott, the running back from the Buckeyes; or Jalen Ramsey, the Florida State defensive back. If he's still there, maybe the best overall player in the draft. If it comes down to those 3, where do you think the Cowboys should go?
Well, I'm looking at this. If I'm Jerry Jones making the decision, or Stephen Jones, I'm looking at what player is going to help me right away. And I love Joey Bosa. I love defensive players who can make an impact. Ezekiel Elliott is, to me, I think he's the best player. You look at this team last year. Tony Romo, let's just assume Tony Romo is going to be healthy this year. Let's forget about last year. You got a healthy Tony Romo. What player is going to help you right away? And I think Ezekiel Elliott is a tremendous talent. He's a guy that's can make the position. Vo coming in his first year. Look at what Todd Gurley did last year. But I think he's got the home run threat. He's a physical player. He's got good vision. And I think he can make an instant impact on a football team.
Yeah, Elliott's the hot name right now at Valley Ranch. I think it's odd because they have the 2 veteran backs in place. I personally think they've focused on Bosa for months now, and I don't think that's changed. But again, from what you're hearing in recent days, it doesn't sound like Bosa anymore. It sounds more like Elliott or maybe Ramsey. Top 2 picks overall likely to be quarterbacks. The Rams and Titans have traded up, or the Rams and Eagles, I should say, have traded up to the 1st and 2nd spots. Jared Goff and Carson Wentz expected to go 1 and 2. Very rarely when it's 1-2 quarterbacks do both of them work out, though.
Yeah, it's a very enigmatic position, and you look at last year, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. It looks to me that those guys may pan out, but it's very hard to really evaluate that position. You look at Philadelphia. I mean, they gave away so much to get their guy. I still don't understand why you give Sam Bradford that big contract, but Philadelphia does this ridiculous thing. So. It's a position that needs to be magnified, but again, I think these 2 guys are the real deal. Time will tell, but right now, I really think this: if one of those players is available at number 4, I think they would be in the talks, in the mix of them, the Cowboys drafting them, but they're not going to be there.
Cowboys never draft quarterbacks. Jerry says that they don't have to this year either. Again, they won't be in play at 4, most likely. The top ones won't. But do you think the Cowboys should go as soon as the 2nd round with a quarterback? They have to get one at some point this year, don't they?
You know what? Not necessarily. I think if there is a player in the 2nd, 3rd round, I think that you're going to probably go in the 2nd round, maybe see him go with a defensive lineman. But the things that happen with them losing their best 2 pass rushers, Lawrence and Randy Gregory, they need to get help there. But I think that's a position that void can be filled maybe by a backup in the offseason. Maybe Kellen Moore, maybe that answer backup. But I think Jerry Jones really believes that Tony Romo is going to be healthy for 16 games, and he's put a lot of money in him. And so I think he's got a lot of faith in him, and his football instincts is saying, I'm going to go with Tony Romo, and let's just kind of play a little poker, and hopefully this year, if we have a backup quarterback, if he gets injured, he can fill that void.
Usually it's the case that if your starter gets injured, you're out of luck anyway, so I'm not sure at this point it really matters who the backup is, but I think they may get a guy down the road a little bit.
But if you watch this team last year, there was not any answer for the backup quarterback. It was atrocious.
And others did win games with backup quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Jerry says he feels the Cowboys are closer to the 12-4 team they were 2 years ago than the 4-12 team they were last year. What else would you expect him to say? But what do you think? Are they closer to that good team we saw not that long ago, or the bad team we just saw last year?
It's hard to say 12-4 considering what we saw last year. And I think, with some of the changes they made on defensively, Greg Hardy's not coming back. There's some question marks on the defensive side of the ball. I think they need to kind of shore it up in the back end of secondary. But I think it's all predicated, Mike, on what the offense or what Tony Romo does. Are you willing to say that Tony Romo, again, is going to be healthy and they're going to be able to play like they did 2 years ago when they're 12-4? Is this offensive line going to be able to block? You don't have DeMarco Murray. Are you really going to buy in that they're going to be as good as that team? Because that's 2 years ago. These guys are older, and things have changed. So, of course, you're going to be very optimistic. But 12-4, I think that might be a stretch, Mike.
So, again, your official prediction for the Cowboys at number 4 would be Ezekiel Elliott?
Going with Ezekiel Elliott.
All right.
1A, that's 1A, I'm going to go with Joey Bosa.
And I'm going to flip-flop it. We're talking Buckeyes all the way around. I think they go Bosa. We'll see you on Thursday night. Tony Casillas, always great seeing you.
Good seeing you, bud.
Mike Doocy, Fox 4 Sports.